Today's ride takes me to a 110-foot waterfall in Tennessee, the birthplace of Abraham Lincoln, and I'll see the spring that sustained the Lincoln family in the early 1800s. This is day 3 of my solo ride to the Dragon, and it's a day that blends history, backroads, and some incredible scenery. I started the morning with the ritual of securing my kit, and I'm personally proud of how compact I've been able to make it. The routine of cinching straps and making sure everything is secure and safe before rolling out never changes. It's a habit that resets the day and settles the mind before the miles begin. With everything packed, I set off and the road opens in front of me. And before I forget, please subscribe and hit the notification button so you get updates for the rest of this trip. Leaving town behind, I eased into the rhythm of the ride. Clear skies, 2-lane pavement, farmland spreading wide. The kind of start that sets the tone for a long day on the road. My first stop of the day was at the Abraham Lincoln Birthplace National Historic Park. It sits atop a hill outside Hodgenville, Kentucky, surrounded by fields that don't deviate much from what Lincoln himself would have seen more than 200 years ago. The main attraction is a monument at the site that looks very much in the same vein as the Lincoln Memorial. Big stone walls, heavy columns, a structure that feels important before you even walk inside. Out front is a long staircase, 56 steps leading to the entrance. Each one represents a year of Lincoln's life, from his birth in 1809 to his death in 1865. Climbing them feels deliberate, like walking his years one at a time before reaching the monument at the top. Once inside, the surprise comes quickly. A primitive log cabin erected inside a modern structure. It's small, diminutive. But here's the catch. This isn't the cabin Lincoln was born in. That cabin was gone long ago. In the late 1800s, a cabin believed to include some logs from Lincoln's birthplace was dismantled and rebuilt as a tourist exhibit, moved around from fairs to displays before eventually being placed here in 1911. But even the authenticity of the logs has been debunked. So it's just become a symbol of Lincoln's humble beginnings. And maybe that's the point. It isn't about the logs. It's about the memory. The story matters more than these walls. Moving back outdoors and along the side of the memorial building is Sinking Spring. It's a natural limestone spring that provided water to the Lincoln family when they lived here. This was likely the first source of water Abraham Lincoln ever drank. A short path and stone steps lead down to it, shaded by trees and tucked into the hillside. It's small, but steady, and you can picture the Lincolns carrying buckets from this very spot for their daily needs. Before leaving, I walked the Boundary Oak Trail. It's a short loop through the woods, quiet and shaded, just enough space to pause and center myself before heading south again. Getting back on the bike, I aimed further south, an intentional route that I mapped to only include backroads, not a highway in sight. The pavement wound through farmsteads and dipped into hollows, then climbed back into low hills. Small towns flickered past. A post office, a gas station, then back into the mountains. The roads felt alive, weaving through the landscape just enough to keep both the rider and the machine engaged. Not the fastest way, but exactly the kind of riding I wanted. By mid-afternoon, I crossed into Tennessee and pulled into the small lot at Ozone Falls. It's tucked just off the highway, easy to miss if you aren't looking for it. From there, you can choose to see the falls from above or below. The top view is the quickest. A short walk down a trail that brings you right to the edge of the drop. The alternative, and the one I'd recommend if you're able, is the lower route. That path is short but demanding due to it being solely on fallen rock. What one might call rock stairs. More of a scramble than a hike. The footing is solid but uneven, with big rocks and ledges that make you slow down and choose your steps wisely. Tree roots and stone outcroppings guide the way, and the gorge opens wider as you descend. And then it's there. A 110-foot drop straight into the pool below. Even in the late summer, with water levels low, the sound echoed up the rock walls. The pool wasn't as full as usual, but the sandstone gorge still framed the falls like a natural amphitheater. Mist drifted out from the plunge, cooling the air, and standing at the base gave you perspective you could never get from above. While panting from the climb back up the gorge, I geared up for the final hour of riding to my hotel. By the time I parked the bike, I'd covered 250 miles and spent just over 7 hours on the road. Day 3 was complete, and tomorrow, the ride reaches its centerpiece, the Tail of the Dragon and the Cherahela Skyway. 318 curves crammed into that 11 miles of the Tail of the Dragon, the road that I've been pointing toward since leaving Indiana. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed the attractions. And as always, ride safe, stay curious, and enjoy the journey.